season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate creative leagues, and what if tournament. It's Coffee Cup Games with the Coach DKM. Hey, this is Coach DK with Coffee Cup Games. Hope you guys are having a good one. It is Tuesday at 2, which means there's a little special episode we try to do every single week, and that episode we call Coffee Talk, where we try to discuss the events and happenings in the world of Strat-O-Matic. So let's go ahead, let's jump on in and see what we're going to be talking about today. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the new releases coming out from Strat-O-Matic. Now, we have talked about these the last couple of weeks, but there is some more information we want to make sure you have to make the best purchases you can. And that includes talking about the Strat-O-Matic Black Collectible Set. We did gain some more updates on that, and we want to make sure to share them with you. After we talk about the new releases, we're going to be talking about the upcoming dates that you need to make sure to put on your calendar. That will include the Strat-O-Matic Opening Day and the Strat-O-Matic Inaugural Hall of Fame. And then third, we're going to be talking about some tournament results that occurred over this past weekend. We want to make sure to recognize and give a shout out to the winners as well as those who participated in these tournaments. And then lastly, of course, we'll be doing what we call the Coach's Corner, where we try to give you guys just a little extra something that maybe you would enjoy and help you in your experience playing Strat-O-Matic. So with that being said, go ahead, grab a cup of coffee, and let's jump in. First, let's talk about the new releases. Let's start with the first and most obvious. It is going to be the release of the 2022 baseball season. Very excited to see what Aaron Judge's 62 home run baseball card looks like. This will be available in cards as well as for the PC version. Next will be an updated Hall of Fame set. This will include all the new inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame. This again will be available in both cards as well as in the PC version. For those who play the computer version of Strat-O-Matic, they are going to be coming out with an updated historical rosters. Again, this is only available in the computer version. The big announcement that everyone was waiting for, which was which re-release were they going to do of an out-of-print season, and this year is going to be 1976. This will be obviously available in the cards, and it will have updates to the PC version. And next up is going to be the 1940s Diamond Gems. This is the 8 best teams from a particular decade. And so this is going to be available in cards only. They have not released any of the Diamond Gems for the PC. And continuing to grow their database of Negro League regular seasons, they are now going to be issuing the 1946 Negro League. Now, this is only available in the PC. This is not going to be issued as of right now in the cards. Also, only in the PC version is going to be the one that I'm kind of looking forward to, the Japanese all-time stars. These are the greatest players to ever play baseball in Japan. And the newest collection that they're going to be coming out with is something that they're calling the 2022 Collectible Set. This is only available in the cards. It is not available, obviously, in the PC. And they are calling it Strat-O-Matic Black. On January 10th, Sportico.com did an article called Board Games Are Booming. Does Sports IP Have a Seat at the Table? This was an interview with Hal Richman's son and current Strat-O-Matic Media CEO, Adam Richman, where he said, and I quote, "Our board game business has never been as robust as it is right now. The fascination with board games and card games that happened in COVID has not dissipated." The article went on to say this year the company is leaning into the parallel collectible craze, releasing 400 limited edition Strat-O-Matic Black sets for, and here it is, $150. No! That's right, the new Strat-O-Matic Black will cost $150 per set. Previously, Strat-O-Matic released pictures of what these cards are going to look like. As you can tell, it has white font on a black background. From what I understand, they're going to have a glossy finish to help protect these cards. But again, this is a collectible set. There are only 400 of these being made. So if you are interested, please make sure to get your orders in very quickly. And now let's talk about some upcoming dates you need to make sure to put on your calendar. First is only 13 days away. That's right, less than 2 weeks. It will be January 30th, and this is where pre-orders can begin. And the big one is Friday, February 17th, exactly 1 month from today. It will be the Strat-O-Matic opening day, which they have not had for 3 years. Awesome. At opening day, they will be live streaming some of the events and happenings. And one of the biggest events that's going to be going on is the inaugural Strat-O-Matic Hall of Fame induction. But Strat-O-Matic has announced more about opening day. And here's some information you need to know if you're looking to attend. Just like it has been in the past, Strat-O-Matic opening day will be had at the Strat-O-Matic headquarters found at 42 Railroad Plaza in Glen Head, New York. And part of the events that are going to be happening is a raffle for anyone who gets there before noon. Your name will be submitted into a raffle that they will be giving away a free Strat-O-Matic Black collectible set. And if you are there, you may be able to attend the Strat-O-Matic inaugural Hall of Fame induction. Strat-O-Matic is going to be honoring 6 significant contributors to the Strat-O-Matic community over the past 62 years. This weekend, I'm going to do a special edition of Coach's Corner where I'm going to give my personal picks of who I believe should be included in the inaugural class. If you have your own personal opinions, go ahead and put those in the chat down below. If you are not able to attend in person, Strat-O-Matic will be live streaming some of the events and happenings throughout the day. You can watch these, I would imagine, on their YouTube channel or on their Instagram account. Personally, I hope these videos are going to be done by Dave Colombo and Laura High. Both of them have been on various Strat-O-Matic videos. I believe both Dave Colombo and Laura High work for the Strat-O-Matic marketing department. They are also both professional comedians. They both have extremely intelligent, dry, witty humor that I personally really appreciate. I follow them on Instagram. I would encourage you guys to do the same. Check out their videos either on Instagram or on TikTok. And they are both going to be subscribing to my channel in the very near future. And the last important date is February 21st. This is when all of the new card products will be shipped, as well as when all the new Windows products will be released. So please make sure to put those dates on your calendar. Now we're going to talk about some of the tournaments that went on this past weekend. The big one was the StratTPC World Championship. The StratTPC Worlds occurred this past weekend in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here are some pictures from this past weekend at the StratTPC Worlds. You can see many of the players getting together, hanging out, doing a draft, playing games, and one gamer unfortunately did not have a good time as apparently he was not happy with the results of a few of his players that he had chosen, so he decided to burn their Strat-O-Matic cards. Ouch! But at the end of the weekend, the StratTPC Worlds had its champion, and that congratulation goes to Bruce Fogg, the winner of the 2023 StratTPC Worlds. And from the information I was able to find out, Bruce made the trip from Florida to go to Pittsburgh to compete in the tournament. He is retired, and the best thing about Bruce is he's a Boston Red Sox fan. Brilliant. So you know he is intelligent, and he must be a genius. But congratulations to Bruce Fogg, this year's 2023 StratTPC World Champion. Another tournament was the 10th annual Maine Stratcon tournament. This tournament occurred this past weekend from Friday to Sunday in Bath, Maine, which is about 20 minutes northeast of Portland, Maine. 20 players coming from California, Texas, Maryland, Virginia, New Hampshire, and Maine participated in a draft tournament using the 1998 roster. And at the end of the weekend, the winner was Todd Zahers. He ended up winning this tournament over John Davis, who for the 4th time in this tournament's history has been the runner-up. Don't know enough about this tournament, but I really hope John has been the bride and not just been the bridesmaid. And that's all the tournaments I could find that happened this past weekend and their results. Hey, before we continue, I want to ask you guys, do me a quick favor. If you guys could hit that thumbs up and like the video, I would really appreciate if you guys would subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 100 subscriptions so I can play Sportsman Z, Bob Zulke, in person. And lastly, leave any questions, comments, or snide remarks in the comment section down below. And so with that, let's continue in our coffee talk. And the last section of the coffee talk is what we call the Coach's Corner, where I, Coach DK, am going to try to give you guys some resources and tools that may help you in your Strat-O-Matic experience. If you play the PC version of Strat-O-Matic, you know how important it is to have really good pictures when you play your games of the ballpark. Whether you play the PC or you play the card version, actually having the right ballpark effects and weather effects is essential if you play the super advanced or the advanced version. So in this episode, I'm going to share my top 5 ballpark tools and websites that's going to help you whether you are a PC player or whether you play with dice and cards. This is what Baltimore's Memorial Stadium looks like in 1980 in the Strat-O-Matic PC version. As you can tell, it's pretty grainy, not given a lot of detail, and personally, I'd rather have a better picture of Memorial Stadium. If you play cards and dice, one of the things that I enjoy doing is taking a picture of the stadium, getting it laminated, putting on some of the ballpark effects onto the lamination, and then I roll the dice and play the cards on the laminated stadium that I'm playing in. The price is not that expensive, and it really does enhance the experience. In the PC version, whenever you click on a team, you get a little pop-up that looks something like this. It'll give you the picture of the stadium. It'll tell you the distance to the wall, the height of the wall. It'll tell you what type of stadium it is, what kind of surface they play on, capacity that they could fill the stadium with, and it also gives you some information around the foul territory. But the most important piece, obviously, is the left-right home runs and the singles for lefties and righties, as well as double and triples. But this information, all of this information is only found in the PC version. So the question comes up, what if you play cards and dice, and what if you don't have this already entered and isn't included in the PC version or the season that you've purchased? The first and most obvious tool that you're going to need is the ballpark and weather effects charts given by Strat-O-Matic. You can find these on the Strat-O-Matic website. I included the link down below in the description. You can find each city's ballpark effects and weather effects by looking up the year or the closest year to the season that you're currently playing. You'll then get a couple of pieces of paper that will tell you what is the singles and the home runs for that ballpark against lefties and righties as well. On the second page, usually will tell you what is the weather effects if you're going to be playing in good weather, average weather, or bad weather for that particular city. The second website that I really enjoy is called Clem's Baseball. It has a bunch of the stadiums, all the current stadiums, as well as many of the old stadiums in Major League Baseball history. You can click on a particular stadium. In this case, I did Fenway Park, and you can tell that it will show you the dimensions, the wall heights, and some other background information from like the year 1912, and then when it was renovated in 1926, again in 1934, 1940, 1988, 2011. You can kind of see the point. Every time there was a major renovation that went on at the ballpark, you can now bring up what is the distance to the wall as well as the heights of the wall for those particular years. The third website or tool that I use is called Retro Sheet Park Directory. You can look this up either by the name of the park or by the particular franchise. It will give you the name of every stadium that any team has ever played in. It'll tell you how many games they played, what the records were, and it'll give you a lot more information if you start digging deeper. But I really enjoy using this because I can find some of those old 19th century stadiums and find out how often a team played at a particular stadium or park, and make sure that I can then make sure to include that in my database when I play the PC version. Many of the stadiums you can't find pictures on. And sometimes it's just hard to get really good quality ones. So one of my favorites that I go and I find pictures of stadiums that are all done digitally is the Out of the Park forum, and I use SOM 14 and 80 on. They have a list of a ton of stadiums. And as you can tell, they'll have like stadiums pictures for like the Braves as an example. They'll have it from 1915 to 1928, and then they'll show an updated version from 1929 to 1936. So they do a great job of giving you a lot of different pictures for the stadiums that they have digitally made. They also include a bunch of the minor league and Negro League stadiums, as well as some international stadiums and a few fantasy ones if you just want to throw those in there as well. Not only do they give you the pictures, but they also give you some sort of percentages or ratings for those stadiums that you can use and kind of take them and apply them into Strat-O-Matic. To help you better understand what I'm talking about when it comes to the quality of the pictures, I've included the 4 stadiums that the Baltimore Orioles have played in throughout their history. Now, I've only included one of the renovation pictures. So as an example, Sportsman Park may have 4 or 5 different renovation pictures, so they're all going to look a little bit different, but I just included the most recent. I think these are just really, really good quality pictures, gives a very, very accurate assessment of the ballpark, and they add a nice little background to try to make it as realistic as possible. My 5th and last website that I use is called Len and Gary's Super Deluxe Color Ballparks. You can go in there and they have actual pictures of ballparks, current ballparks. So if you just want to go ahead and find some that have already been made and created, you can go ahead and do that. They have hundreds of them already listed. And of course, if you don't like any of those pictures they have, you can always just Google, find a picture that you like, and go ahead and make a copy of that. So just to kind of wrap it on up, here again is the Memorial Stadium in the PC version from 1980 season. As you can tell, it is grainy, but it does work. Here is the version that I found on SOM 14 and 80 on their OOTP forum. As you can tell, personally for me, I just think it looks much better. I think it adds more fans into the crowd, as well as I just think it looks more like a ballpark than the one that Strat-O-Matic currently has as their 1980 Memorial Stadium default. And here's the stadium that I found using either Gary's or Googling the Memorial Stadium from the 1980s. As you can tell, this is an actual picture. It looks really high quality, and I would take this picture, I'll crop it to make it look exactly what I want it to be, and then I'll go ahead and take that on over to like a place like Office Depot, get it printed in color and get it laminated, and then I will play my cards and dice actually on top of this picture. So whether you're a card and dice or you play only PC version, just knowing these top 5 websites is going to help you improve your quality of playing, get you actual pictures, and make you enjoy playing Strat-O-Matic baseball that much more. I hope you guys enjoyed the information and found it helpful. I know some of it was redundant, but of course, a lot of it was brand new and was updated from previous episodes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can get to 100 subscriptions so that I can go ahead and play Sportsman Z Bob Zuhlke in person. And don't forget, this weekend we will be putting out a special episode of the Coach's Corner where we are going to be talking about who I believe is the most deserving to make the Strat-O-Matic inaugural Hall of Fame. And lastly, in the Coach's Corner, I hope you were able to find some of those tools and resources helpful to improve and enhance your experience. This is all we got for you today here in our episode of Coffee Talk, where we discuss all the events and happenings in the Strat-O-Matic world. Until next time, this is Coach TK. Have a good one. Bye.